Pasture is going to be psyched because he has got rubbing posts. Right, buddy? I know. All right, fingers crossed that the adjustments we made work out. Hey, welcome back to Ohrmundt Simmentals. All right, it is Monday afternoon, and right away we're starting out at the shop. Partly because I'm going to jump in Dad's truck and go check on him, see how he's doing. He's cutting on top of the hill on what's probably one of our better fields. It's one of our newer fields. I think we seeded it down 4 years ago. I think there's a 4th year on it. So we're going to buzz up the hill. It's about a mile and a half? Mile? Just a mile up the road. And see how he's doing. I think he went like right after lunch, around 1 o'clock-ish, I think. So, let's go check. All right, so this is about a 9-acre field, but this field actually has quite a bit of alfalfa in it. A lot heavier soil up on the hills. It's also a lot rockier, but this actually is pretty darn perfect. This turned out really nice, I think. But it does seem like some of the grasses have gotten choked out. But the grass is in there. This is starting to lodge though pretty big, pretty darn decent. So we're getting it just in time. Yeah, so this field has been really, really decent. And the ground is it's so much heavier and better quality soil. The only trade-off is you get a lot of rocking with it, which we've had to deal with. Another reason we kind of like the high stubble shoes. But there is a really, really good mix of alfalfa and timothy throughout the whole thing. There is still some orchard grass in there, but for whatever reason it hasn't really hasn't come up. So this stuff is going to be a pistol and a half to dry though. Let's head back. I need to pick up those 8 bales off of that field that we're going to put the cows on, and then one of those is going to the steers. If you look at the bales that were custom done for us versus ours, and I'll show you ours in a little bit, it does look like they have probably 3.5 wraps on theirs. I suppose I could try and count them. And the only reason I'm making note of that is because I've liked the way that these have kept over the winter. And I liked when we got into snow and ice conditions and stuff, how the net wrap came off. I mean, obviously we're gonna have some with 2.5, but if we bump more of them up to 3.5, we'll at least be able to tell for next year. All right, so we'll use this guy as an example. I think you can definitely tell that there's maybe at least one round of net less than what is on those other ones from last year. So Dad just got done, he's just drove by, and we just got done unloading these bales. But I think really quick comparison, you kind of see what, these are the bales that were custom wrapped last year. These are the ones that we did. So this is 2.5 wraps. This is, I think, 3.5. Yeah, I counted some. I'm pretty confident that's 3.5 wraps. So I think maybe we'll, next time we bale some, we'll at least do a few of them at 3.5, and we'll see what they look like. I just like the way it's shedded, and honestly, with as average as the hay quality is going to be to begin with, conserving that quality is going to be fairly important. All right, we're gonna let the cows in the back. Dad's gonna open the gates. I'm gonna scooch behind them, make sure everybody comes, because we don't have a gate or a line to lead them to where they're supposed to go. And the vast majority of these girls know exactly where they're going. Just these calves sometimes don't know. Come on, girls. Let's go. And honestly, they're actually not that hungry. That's why they're not going as fast as they normally would. Come on, girls. Hup, 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 hup. They are stopping in the ditch, though. Come on, let's go. Hup, hup. Well, the cows have made it to the back pasture. They haven't quite figured out that they can go down to the creek yet. I think some of them figured out where they are. It always takes them a couple minutes, but one cow will lead the kids down there and everybody will play in the water. I think they'll really like that after the last days of being really hot. All right, so these guys will kind of go back and forth. Crick, field, crick, field, crick, field. Till they realize where they want to kind of hang out. But there is a lot of like 6-8 inch tall regrowth already on this field, plus some really nice clover. But this is a lot of bluegrass, a little orchard, clover. All these edges where we weren't able to cut, same type of stuff. Factor's gonna be psyched because he has got rubbing posts. Right, buddy? I know. Well, at least you find out who's limping or who's not limping. Or in the case of Peasy, who's old. So, everybody apparently is doing really good in the foot department. Yeah, these guys are starting to slow down a little bit. Hey, how's it going? All right, Tuesday afternoon. And we're starting out, we're checking one of our hay fields that we probably should have baled yesterday. Oh yeah, I think we're good to go. So this is the field right next to where the cows are now, right there. And Dad got another, I think another 7-acre field cut today. But if I can get this raked up, then it's not gonna take Dad very long to bale it, but I wanna get the tedder pulled out, probably hooked up, greased up, ready to go for tomorrow. So we went through the field once through. So this does require a second time going through, but I'm gonna rake 4 rows together. Now the goal is to head straight down the middle and bring these 2 together. This field was a little thin, so I'm gonna try this out, give us some bigger windrows, and allows Dad to not have to do so much turning around. start baling this one, make sure everything's working okay per the adjustments we made to it. And then I think we'll determine whether or not we're gonna rake up some more. All right, fingers crossed that the adjustments we made work out. This outer round is gonna have a little bit of wet stuff because got a little wet ground here, and then it's really shaded along those pines over there. Always has been. It's like you never get away from that one. Not the prettiest first one. But I had pulled a lot of that net back, so we'll see how the second one goes. It just seems like it's not, you know, getting over the edge. Ooh, and that is hard. Oh, much better. Much better. And that's set at 3 wraps. Dad was mentioning I got the rows wide enough and big enough that he can just go straight down the middle, like we like. One out. Much better. Much better. Starting to get to the edge, a little over the edge. Maybe that's net wrap tension, that it's not so much over. Like this side actually still seems like it's going over a little more. Yeah, that is a solid frickin' bale. Golden, let's go. All right, so it seems like the baler's working out pretty darn decent. Still might, well, one, still need to check wrap tension, the net wrap tension. Sometimes you just gotta pull stuff out with the equipment you got at hand. So I was able to get the pin on there, so yeah, worked out. Hey, good morning. Well, technically morning, it's Thursday morning. I am home, half-day vacation today, because we are gonna try and get that really nice hay on top of the hill baled up. As of yesterday, our kind local weatherman said today was supposed to be mostly sunny and no chance of rain. Okay, it is cloudy and they're talking slight chance of showers late afternoon, evening time. This is our shot. If that stuff gets rained on, it's really gonna suck. So for this last little bit on this field, I got 3 rows, they're all shorts. I don't want to try and grab these sides because I need to have this you know, a little bit greener, got a little bit of moisture in there, stuff on top. So I don't want to grab any from here. So I'm throwing this guy into single wing mode. And if you've watched me before, so on the Kuhn speed rake, it's just this. This goes into here for left and right going down, and then you go in this hole for just putting the right down. If you want transport, then you go all the way up here. Following along behind Dad, especially to see these first couple of bales. This is where I need my side-by-side. All right, so let's take a close look at these guys. So this is 3 rounds. Kind of getting over the edge. I kind of would have thought it would have gotten a little more. Like this side looks good as far as over the edge. Here it's a little not so much. I can't. I can barely. That's taking some force to try and get my thumb in there. So that's set at about 1200 psi. All right, Dad's gonna keep rolling on this field, and we are gonna go find something else to do. We are not going to adjust the pickup head. Just looked at the radar, and honestly, it looks like we're only gonna have about an hour until the rain gets here. But the hay feels really nice. So when I told Dad that, he just said, screw it, we're not gonna dick around with it. Oh, that one got a little bit too far for Dad. He jackknifed it, but it rolled a little bit too far. This is actually Zernicke's, the one that do our combining. They actually rent this, so it's really nice alfalfa. So see if I can move this guy out of the way. Got it. Well, I'm gonna have to give Dad a little grief on this one, because the one he just dumped down along the edge over there, well, it's laying in the ditch right now. So yeah, to let him know about that. I will say though, this chunk is actually really hard to find the right spot where it's not gonna roll, because the field comes down here, here, and here. So everything, it's like a cone. It is a little bit of a tricky chunk to. Dad spooked me with that one. That's why I want the flat. I've mentioned it like 3 times, and Dad says he doesn't want it. About every 10 feet, he hooks and gets a ball and then sucks a ball in there. So this is the view we have up here. I really do like coming up here. It is quite the view. All right, admittedly, Dad made a boo-boo. He was coming up the hill and it was full, but the beeper went off and he was trying to turn because the landowner, she's doing a bunch of remodel to her house, so there's a pile of bricks there, and everything. So now we have this mess. But I've got a hill, so if I can just get it pointed in the right direction, we'll just send her down the hill. All right, not bad at all. Then all Dad has to do is drive back over and pick her back up. So it was bound to happen sooner or later. And then every once in a while, Dad stops and points out a gem. All right, we're gonna have to read up on our manual wrapping abilities. Obviously you can do it, but for whatever reason, it wanted to go wrap and it wouldn't wrap. It went through, but I think what ended up happening, for some reason, the net got caught on the latch for that front door, actually the one you open to change out the net wrap. So I kind of had to pull it, refeed it, and then we had to kind of do it manually. So, you know, when we're still new, and then you got to do it manually. So we got this guy. This guy's gonna last a long time because there's probably 5 rounds on here. Well, we have 2 rows left, a row and a half, and it is sprinkling out. We probably would be done though if we didn't have a couple of the little stupid things that happened. Yeah, we'll give Dad his pass. That's not a big deal. That happens. It's happened with the other baler. All right, so we're not doing anything today because it's raining. But just a little update. Our oats look really good. And this morning we got our corn top dressed with fertilizer, which is awesome. So this rain is actually a welcome sight. And they were able to go over everything. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Steers got their grain, had a pretty decent week, got some hay baled, and this weekend we're gonna start picking them up. So hope you like the video. Please hit that thumbs up button. If you got any questions, please leave them in the comment as always. And of course, don't forget to subscribe. Help us get to our goal of 2,000 subs. And as always, thanks for coming along.